Welcome back to a brand new video and at Newark Air Museum. So we're going to see some of the planes here at Newark Air Museum on this video. So this one here is a de Havilland DH114 Heron SRS 1B, and it's Sir James Young Simpson. It's used by the British European Airways on its Scottish Airways division, flew to many of the Highlands original airports, one being a beach as shown on Barrett Island. A very important additional role for the Heron was an air ambulance to transport patients to a major hospital on the mainland for urgent medical treatment under contact to the Scottish Air Ambulance Service. At least one baby was born on board the aircraft. Period of service 1955 to 1973. So this one here is a Blackburn Buccaneer S1 XN 964, built at Brough in 1963. It was delivered to the Royal Navy the same year. It was flown to HMS Victorious to join 810 Squadron, which sailed to the Far East. It returned to the UK in 1965 to Lossiemouth, where it joined 736 Squadron. It suffered many mechanical problems which reduced its flying hours, finally moving to join 803 Squadron in 1967. Before being struck off charge in 1970, the aircraft was then used for experimental work at RAA Bedford and then Pershore before being put into storage in 1976. In 1982 it was acquired by a museum in the Midlands, then moved to Bruntingthorpe, from there to Newark in 1988. So this is a Puma HC1 XW208. First flight was in May 1971 before joining 230 Squadron in June. It then served with 33 Squadron before its return to 230 Squadron, then finally to RAF Cranwell as a training aid. It was a tactical assault and transport helicopter. WR977 was built in 1957 at Woodford and joined 220 Squadron, which was renumbered 201 and coded L in 1959. It was transferred to 206 Squadron and coded B, where it remained until 1963, when once again it flew with 201 Squadron coded D, following modifications in 1965 to Phase 2. It joined 42 Squadron coded B. Further modifications to Phase 3 in 1968 and moved to 203 Squadron, followed by 206 Squadron, then 42 Squadron, and finally in 1970 with 203 Squadron and moved to Lucca, Malta. It was then retired to Thorney Island before joining small museum at RAF Finley as an instructional airframe. It was dismantled by museum members and moved here in 1977. This is the Avro Shackleton MR3 WR977. So this one is a Hastings T5 TG517. Hastings TG517 C-Mark 1 was built in 1948. It passed through 5 MU at RAF Kemble to join a 47 Squadron at RAF Dishforth, then back to Kemble during 1948 to 1949. It took part in the Berlin airlift. The aircraft then moved to RAF Topcliffe to join 53 Squadron until 1950. After conversion to MET-1 for weather reporting, it moved to VA Kemble to join 202 Squadron at RAF Aldergrove and at Gibraltar. Conversion to TMK-5 took place in 1958, after which in 1960 it was stationed at RAF Lindholme. In 1992 it moved to RAF Scampton, and in 1975 I moved to RAF Kinloss in order for it to used during the Cod War, overflying the fishing fleets. It flew into Winthorpe on the 22nd of June 1977. So this one's a de Havilland Sea Vixen FAW.2 XJ560. This aircraft, designed for a crew of 2, was built in 1959 at Christchurch as a FAW1. It was delivered to 890 Squadron in 1960, and in 1964 it went to Belfast for conversion to FAW2. It then joined 829 Squadron at Yeovilton before going to Far East. It moved back to the UK in 1968 and later joined HMS Hermes. It returned to the UK in 1970, having ceased flying, became an instructional airframe at Holton. The aircraft progressed through Farnborough to RA Bedford before being withdrawn from service in 1983. XJ560 arrived here at Newark in August 1986. This one is a Fairy Gannet AEW3 XP226. XP226 made its first flight in March 1962. It was then delivered to RNAS Culdrose and coded 422, repaired after a flying accident at Lodmouth in 1963. It 1966 it moved to Brody, where it carried the code 036 followed by 766, 763 and finally 073. In 1971 it joined 849D flight on board HMS Eagle, returning to the UK in early 1972. The aircraft was based at Lossiemouth and coded 042. 3 years later it was recoded 044 and sailed on board HMS Ark Royal. In 1978 the aircraft ceased flying and became an instructional airframe at HMS Dryad, where in 1979 it served as a gate guard. This museum acquired the aircraft in 1982 and it arrived in November of 1982. So this is the cafe on site. Just had a bite to eat from there. Absolutely fantastic. Quite expensive, but great food. None the wiser. Well worth the price. So this is an English Electric Camry BI8 model WV787. Built at Preston in 1952 as a B2. It was initially delivered to the RAF but then transferred to the Ministry of Supply at Bitterswell to be flown with Sapphire engines as a test bed. In 1958 it was modified to a BI-8 and was used to trial the Blue Parrot radar for the Buccaneer. In 1967 it was transferred to Boscombe Down to be fitted with a pressurised spray system which enabled the aircraft to be used for ice ingestion trials, flying ahead of aircraft such as the Hercules, Nimrod and Concorde 002. The results of these trials were filmed by a rear-facing camera and monitored by a crew member sitting in the nose facing the rear with a video monitor. A move to RAF Abingdon battle damage repair flight in 1983 resulted in considerable damage to the fuselage. Bought for the museum, it arrived in October 1985 where it was repaired. Yeah, so this one's a MiG-27 Flogger 71. Built in the 1970s, entered service in the mid-1970s. Arrived here at the museum May 2002. Carried a crew of 1. Maximum speed Mach 1.7. Range of 1,550 miles. Service ceiling 52,000 feet. This aircraft is powered by one Tumansky R29B turbojet rated at 11,348 kgp, 25,350 labs, static thrust with afterburner. It was designed to carry a total of 16 250 kilogram bombs. So this one is a MiG-23, built in the late 60s and serviced in the 70s. Arrived at the museum in May 2002. Carried a crew of 1. Max speed Mach 2.35. Range of 805 miles. Service ceiling 61,000 feet. This aircraft was powered by Tumansky R29B turbojet, rated at 12,310 kgp, 27,500 labs, static thrust with afterburner. It could be fitted with one 23mm GSH-23 twin barrel gun, 4 weapon pylons for rocket packs and air-to-air missiles. So we'll just have a quick walk around the hangar here. So this is a Sea Harrier. I'm not going to go explaining all these. Aircraft armed, a Javelin, FAW XH992. Best time to come round here, there's not many people around. L10, 1011 TriStar, cockpit for viewing. Let's have a look round here. Another Shackleton model. MR3. So this is a TriStar 1011. This is the cockpit inside. One of these. So yeah, we just walk back round to where we started in the hangar. Come to a dead end, so back round here again. And this is a Meteor FR9. This is a model of the English Electric Canberra. Rolls-Royce Conway engine. So this is a Saab Vision. On to F1. Meteor and F12 here. An unusual shaped plane. There's this one. This one is a Jet Provost XM383. There's no one around, it's dead quiet in here. Very, very quiet. Hunting Jet Provost. This is the cockpit of a Beverley C1. So we can actually have a look at this one. So yeah, another old-fashioned one. This one, the Beverley C1. come back up the other side, and we've got a Bulldog T1 here, XX634. Just here, got loads of little models, all sorts of lightnings, Buccaneers, Phantoms, Jaguars, more Phantoms there, and Tornadoes at the bottom. And again, more models here. So this one's a Polka Siddeley Nat T1 XR534. And got XS726 Hawker Siddeley Dominine MK1. And as we move on a bit further around here, we've got a Tucano, a short Tucano T1 XF372. And again here, we've got more models. I do collect some of the models. There's only so many you can collect, isn't there? Storage is a problem with models. Jetstream T Mark 1 XX492. So that's what this one is here. And I've got one that's backwards here. Oh, we can get to the front of it. Got the bombs here. All the different sorts of missiles. Just here, Princeton, BA Dynamics, Martel. All the different types of bombs. This one here is a Gloucester Prone Pilot Meteor F8 WK935. That's what this one is here. That's an unusual front on it, that one. But, yeah, we'll head on out of here now. So this is an old motorbike here. Trying to work out, oh, it's an old Triumph potentially. It's got the Triumph badges on. Not sure if it is. But yeah, this is how you'd look in the Royal Air Force. Some old signs there. So yeah, we'll head on out. So we're going in Hangar 1 now. So look what Hangar 1's like. Yeah, yeah, look at these models, these are even bigger. These ones. But, yeah, some accessories there. So we've got more planes in here. It doesn't look as big as the Hangar 1. Hangar 2, sorry. Let me walk around first. This is the Anson C-19. Avro Anson C-19, built in 1946. So, head off over here. Got that engine-y smell in here. This is the Monospar ST12. So don't know all these planes. And the Reed and Sygrist RS4 bobsleigh. This first flew in 1939. Wow, amazing. And there's plenty of models at this museum. There's loads to look at. Let's have a look at this one here. The Tiger Moth. Yeah. The DH82A Tiger Moth. So this is the Saab S35 XD Draken AR 107. So that's what this one is here. And here we've got a Gazelle, SA341 Gazelle helicopter. Seems right inside that one. And this is a CX, I think that's how you say it. AH1. And got another helicopter there. And another one here. That's the A129 tonal. A Seahawk. And that one's a Sea Venom. This is a Sapphire, Saab Sapphire 91B. And this is some parts of a Lancaster bomber. This is another model of a Lancaster here. And this plane here is a P-40 Percival Prentice. So it's a training aircraft, this one. I'll just go back round to the bits that I've missed as we walk round here. So this is a Skeeter AOP-12, and this one is a Westland Whirlwind HAS-7 XM685 helicopter in the Royal Navy. lot to see inside there. Here we've got a Provost P56 hunting Percival. And a Vampire T11 XD593, another training aircraft. And obviously that's the way to get into that one. Not sure I'd like to try and get in there. But that's a Venom NF3 de Havilland WX905. Yeah. So I'm going to leave that there. So if you have liked the video, I hope you have anyway. But if you have liked the video, please like and subscribe. And I'll catch you again on the next one. It's a goodbye from me. And goodbye.